So one of the things I think a lot of people should understand, like how does money actually travel from the budgetary idea all the way to finally a company being awarded a contract and the money actually being exchanged, because this is generally usually like a 3-year cycle. Because in the easiest simple term is the government knows what they need to procure based on lots of different variables, usually a 3-year buying minimum, sometimes a 5-year. Now it's turning into 7 years with munitions. So the government understands where they're going to be and what they're going to need to procure. And so there are basically the teams that put together a budget request. And that budget request ultimately goes through multiple different parts of our legislative group. So Senate, House, and Congress all have to like put their stamp of approval on a budget request. Then ultimately goes to the president's desk. They sign off on it. So right now we are, for anyone watching this in the future, we're in March of 26. And right now they are still trying to figure out like how they're going to put together the 2027 budget. It's clear that we're 1 quarter in, we still don't understand. And that request is for 1.5 trillion in addition to, that's a defense request. So all this was started years ago by the procurement teams that understood and started looking at what we, as the government, federally, across FedCiv and the Department of War, need to procure. But yet that actually started 2 years ago. They started looking at things like how many jets do we have and how many federal subsidies that we can give to farmers, and like every little piece of like the American experience that plays a part of this, I don't know, holistic sense that sell things to the government, from soybeans to everything else we've already mentioned. Someone planned for all of that, right? And the good news is it's all public.
Right.
And like Google's your best friend. I'm sure, I don't know where LLMs will be at some point in time, but you can use them as well to find all of these budgetary documents. And why this matters is if you're in a maybe youngish company that's got some R&D funding, what you really are trying to look at is a big picture of a 3 to 5 year spread. And you can go and look at in the comptroller's budgets for all the different branches of the military and other parts of the federal government, you can see where they're putting money and aligning money towards mission, towards things that they want to accomplish, things that they want to build, and it's all public. And this is what takes maybe a so-so good salesperson to the next level and at least understanding the federal side of things. Because if you understand how budgets are created, how they're passed, and then a lot of people have heard about pork being thrown into bills and all this other stuff. Well, it's true. Folks need to make sure that people are working meaningfully in their states and their cities and things like that. So their constituents will also ask for little cutouts to make sure that people are at work wherever they are. And so these things all get tacked onto these bills and budgets. And if you understand how all of that kind of interrelates, just even at a big picture, you're like 50% smarter than a lot of people that maybe don't understand how things are funded.